She smiled sweetly as she handed me dinner, pretending nothing was wrong. But I'd seen the lawyer's email she accidentally left open. 2 weeks later, she filed for divorce, only to realize I'd already moved every single asset out of her reach. If you've ever seen betrayal coming before a hit and turn the tables, this one's for you. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and drop a comment if you've ever outsmarted someone who thought they had you trapped. Let's get into the story. Hello, everyone. Grab a coffee, because this one's going to be a ride. I'll start by saying, when you spend years building something, putting your trust in someone, loving them, and then you realize they've been planning to gut you from the inside out, it shatters you. That was my reality just a few months ago. My wife and I had been married for 6 years. We weren't perfect, but I thought we were solid. I work in finance. I've built a comfortable portfolio over the years, a retirement account, brokerage investments, some commercial property, and a healthy emergency fund. But I kept everything transparent. She had access to our shared accounts, our taxes, everything. Looking back, that was my first mistake. Things began to shift about 8 months ago. Nothing drastic, just small signs. Her phone started living face down on the table. She stayed late at work more often, but never mentioned deadlines or projects. She started locking her phone and suddenly became very particular about her me time. But here's the thing, none of that fully alarmed me. What did? One night, she forgot to log out of her email on the laptop. Normally, I wouldn't pry, but I'd been feeling that gnawing anxiety in my chest, like something was off. I clicked the tab. The subject line was all I needed to see. Draft proposal, divorce strategy. My heart started pounding so hard I couldn't hear anything else. I opened the email. It was addressed to her lawyer. She hadn't sent it yet, but it was all there. A strategy to file for divorce, freeze our joint accounts, move into her parents' home temporarily, and blindside me with a court order. She specifically wanted to file before the end of the quarter, because she knew that's when I usually move bonuses into liquid assets. She even outlined how she could paint the narrative in her favor. He works all the time. He's emotionally distant. It's not abusive, but I felt neglected for years. Neglected. That word cut deeper than anything else. I closed the laptop, numb. But inside, I wasn't broken. I was focused. She wanted to play financial chess. She had no idea who she was dealing with. The very next day, I called in sick and spent the day setting up new accounts. In my name only. Trusts, shell companies, legal firewalls, all completely above board and legal, but airtight. Over the next 2 weeks, I moved nearly 80% of my liquid assets into new structures. I closed our joint brokerage account and distributed my investments to a family trust I'd established long before our marriage, just never activated. She didn't notice. She thought she had time. She probably felt clever, thinking she was outmaneuvering me. Then came D-Day. She sat me down with that soft, rehearsed tone I imagined she practiced in front of the mirror. Honey, I think we've grown apart. I've been speaking to a lawyer. I want this to be amicable. I nodded. I didn't yell. I didn't ask why. I just said, I understand. Let me know what you need. Her eyes widened for a second. She wasn't expecting that, but I knew better than to show my hand. 2 days later, she filed for divorce. A process server showed up at my work. Classic. But what happened next? She went back to her lawyer and discovered the accounts were empty. The brokerage? Closed. The joint savings? Reduced to a few $1,000s for bills. She thought she'd blindside me financially, but the wall she'd hoped to crash through was made of reinforced steel. Then the text came. Hey, can we talk? Suddenly, she didn't want a divorce so badly. She was willing to work things out. She said, maybe we rushed into this. She even suggested a trial separation instead of filing. It was almost funny watching her backpedal, but I kept it calm. I'm not sure that's the best idea, I said. You already made your decision. I think we should follow through. When she realized I wasn't going to stop the process, that's when her real mask slipped. She screamed at me, accused me of manipulation, of emotional abuse, of financial sabotage. I didn't respond. I just forwarded everything to my lawyer. We presented her drafted email as evidence. Yes, I had taken screenshots the moment I saw it. Her lawyer tried to argue it was a private draft, not admissible. Didn't matter. The tone had shifted. The court saw her strategy for what it was, a calculated financial ambush. When the judgment came, it was devastating for her. Because I had set up a family trust before marriage and never used marital funds to activate it, the majority of assets were considered separate property. She walked away with a small settlement and nothing more. The house? Mine. The investments? Locked away. The accounts? Fully protected. She cried during mediation. Said she didn't understand how things got so cold between us. I'll be honest, I felt nothing by then. That's what betrayal does. It doesn't just hurt, it freezes you, turns warmth into steel. I didn't plan on revenge. I planned on protection. But the outcome? It felt like justice. She thought I was clueless, that I'd crumble, beg her to stay, maybe offer half of everything just to keep it civil. Instead, I let her walk into the trap she designed. The difference? I built the blueprint underneath her feet while she was too busy rehearsing her betrayal in front of the mirror. She thought she'd ruined me. Now, she's starting over from scratch while I've moved on with my life, on my terms. No lies, no traps, no regrets, just peace. Sometimes the best revenge isn't loud. It's not angry. It's surgical, quiet, strategic. And when someone shows you they've been planning your downfall behind your back, you don't cry. You prepare. If that story hit home, smash that like button. It tells us you want more real, raw stories like this one. Subscribe for weekly tales where betrayal meets justice. And let us know in the comments, what's the coldest, smartest revenge you've ever seen? Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay sharp.